Hi guys, okay, so it is time to start decluttering all this madness. I'm going to start with my palettes. I don't know if I'm going to split this up in multiple videos or have one big long video. We'll just kind of see. But yeah, I'm going to start with my palettes because they're just kind of all right here. Not everything fits in my holder anymore, which I don't really expect it to, even after I get done decluttering because, well, for one thing, some of my palettes are just too big to go in there anyway, I think. But we'll see. So I'm just going to take everything out. This is actually a little lip set, and it's just taking up palette room. So I'm going to set this over to the side, and we'll figure out what to do with that later. But I'm just going to take everything out. Okay, so I kind of just have everything laid out. We are starting off with 17 palettes, which is not a ton compared to other people, but I really just don't have all the storage for it. And it's still more than one person necessarily needs, and I'm not a big enough channel yet to where I need to have a ton of makeup. And that just kind of opens up room for me to get to buy more things. Okay, so I'm going to start with this because this is the biggest one. This is the Morphe 35D palette. And it is just a lot of cool tones. A lot of the colors that I do like in here, I think I have dupes for. So I'm actually just going to hold this one off till the end maybe. And I'm just going to put this in the maybe pile for now. Okay, so next I have my Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. And it is a beautiful palette. I really do like this one. I don't use this as much as I should. I need to start using this more because it is really, really pretty. I like the quality. The packaging is on the bulky side. It could be a lot less for as far as like storage and things like that go. You have this whole top department that's nothing but just frills and extra. You do have a mirror, so if you want to set it up and use it, like you have your mirror in your drawer, so that's handy, but I just never actually do that. I have a makeup mirror that I use, but I really do like the shadows, so I am going to hold on to this one, and it just kind of, you can just kind of hang out right there for now. So next we have my Tale as Old as Time Beauty and the Beauty and the Beast palette. This is not going anywhere. I love this palette, and yeah, it's staying right here with me. And I see it won't fit because the Alice one is just so stinking big. Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm just going to put it in there for now. I just dropped everything. I really hope nothing broke. So my chocolate bar palette, you all know this isn't going anywhere. I've hit pan on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shadows in here. No, 7. I missed one. So 7 shadows, which is crazy. So that goes to show how much I absolutely love this palette. And it is so dirty. You can tell it's had a lot of love. And it is not going anywhere. So definitely keeping that one. Okay, this is the Natural Eyes palette. This is the one my friend Autumn actually gave me. And I'm not the one that hit pan on all these, but I really do love this palette. I especially love this shade down here. I've put a really good dent in it since I've had it, but this is one that's not going anywhere. Okay, so this is a new little palette. I haven't even took it out of the plastic yet. I haven't swatched it. This is a Maybelline The City Mini palette. And this is Downtown Sunrise is the color. They had several different color selections. And I don't know, this one just looked intriguing. Some of the colors are different than anything I have. My dog is barking outside. I'm sorry. But anyway, like I said, I haven't took this out of the sleeve, nothing. I may even actually just do a little video on this. I've not heard anyone talk about these. Have you? And if you have, has it been like good things, bad things? So yeah, I don't know. This was just intriguing and I decided to buy that. So it's obviously not going anywhere yet. Okay, so I have this Makeup Revolution one that is supposed to be like the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which I do not own, so I can't say that it is exact. But just to be completely honest with you, I don't use this palette. If I'm going to use mattes, this is not the one that I reach for. And yeah, so I just don't think I'm going to keep this. I think I'm just going to give this to my friend Autumn as well, because I think that she will get more use out of it than I will. And it's just, like I said, it's not something that I use. So I'm going to pass it on. So that's actually our first one decluttered. Okay, so here's another one I'm going to declutter. This is the LA Mattes. This is the only one I've kept out of all of them. This is the blue denim, and I kept this for the simple fact that I didn't have these colors in any other palettes, but I don't use these colors, which is probably why I don't have palettes that has them in them. So honestly, I just don't need this, and I'm going to be passing it along. And it's probably going to seem like I'm picking on drugstore makeup, because that's probably the majority of what I'm going to get rid of in this category, but I just like high-end eyeshadows. It's just really hard to find really good eyeshadow in the drugstore, which I did buy this one. I haven't tried it yet, but I don't know. I do like high-end eyeshadow. When it comes to palettes, I like the packaging, and I'm an eyeshadow snob. I'm sorry if that offends you. Okay, so this is the Rimmel London Magnifies eyeshadow, and this is in Keep Calm and Wear Gold. I never reach for this. I did make myself try it yesterday just to see if I loved it, and actually the quality is pretty good. My problem with this palette is you don't have enough mattes. It's for the same as like the Urban Decay Naked palette. I got rid of that one because you have like, maybe you have this one. I think this one is actually trying to look like the Urban Decay Naked palette. And then you kind of have this one up here, but even the mattes have like a sheen to them. They're almost more of a satin than a matte. And I just wasn't real happy with my look that I got with this yesterday, because it just wasn't defined. It seemed like everything just kind of meshed together, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. So I'm actually going to pass this one along as well. Okay, so next I have this Morphe 25A palette. I love this palette. I have hit pan on one of the shades, but these are just amazing. These are dupes for a lot of the Makeup Geek foiled shadows. I have some that are like in these shades, and these are like perfect dupes for it. And this is one of my most used palettes. You can see where I put my brush in a lot, and the fingerprints tells you how much this is used. I hate the packaging. The packaging is horrible, but that being said, the quality of the eyeshadows is amazing, and I love these colors, so this one is staying. Okay, another one that's for sure staying is my Tartelette palette. This does have some more cool tones, which I like if I'm going to use a cool tone. It's kind of these like mauve purples, and I actually do use this a lot. It's all matte shades, this is one that I reach for if I'm like in a palette that needs some mattes. This is usually the palette that I am going to reach for. So I actually really do like this one, and I'm going to be holding on to it. Okay, so next we have the Meet Matrimony. This one, I have mixed feelings about this one. My little boy got a hold of it, so if it looks like a disaster, that's why I'm going to clean it up a little bit. But I think out of this and this one, I really like the Tarte one better. And I know the shades are different, but I never use black. All these colors I have in other palettes. This pink I have in another palette. And really the only thing that makes me hold on to this palette is this red. But I can probably dupe this. I'm not sure if I have a color exactly like this in my palette or in my palettes. I'm going to have to look, because I do love this shade right here. And if I can't find one that I can match to this, I may keep this. I'm not 100% sure yet. So this is going to go in the maybe pile with the other Morphe palette. And I'm going to kind of see like what shades I like and if I have any duplicates. Okay, so next I have this, the Solo Look palette. I got this because Coffee Break with Danny, she recommended it. I think it even has her name on it. I think it has like YouTuber names. But these are all shimmers, and they are pretty. I'm not going to lie, they are pretty. Especially, I really like this one up here. I don't know, that really is awful pretty. So this is another one. I'm going to have to look and see what kind of like dupes I have for this. So this is going to go in the maybe pile as well. So next is my Urban Decay Electric palette. This isn't going anywhere. This has had a ton of love, especially for a colored palette. You can see this shade up here, and these purples down here have really been used a lot, along with this silver. And I just love this palette. It's all color, so you can't really make... I did make a look with nothing but this palette before, just for fun. But... yeah, I just like this. If I'm going to go for anything with color, I always reach for this. So I love this palette, and it will stay with me forever. Okay, next is my Tarte Swamp Queen palette by Bunny. I'm just going to be honest, this is not my favorite palette. I loved it when it first came out, and I love, love, love Bunny, and I love this highlight shade, as you can tell. But there is like one matte shade in this entire palette, which is right here, which really surprises me. But that being said, I do love the blush, I do love the highlight, and then for good like highlighting shades, there are some great ones in here. And I love Bunny, so it's kind of a collectible item, so I am going to keep it, but it's not my #1 favorite palette. I'm not going to lie about that. Okay, and lastly, I have my Makeup Geek shadows, and then like just a few random ones up here. These aren't going anywhere, you all know that, so they are staying. I'm going to go through and put the ones that I know I'm keeping away, and then look at the maybes. Okay, so I decided to keep my Meet Matrimony palette because it did have that red shade in it that I really do like. I'm definitely keeping my Morphe palette because I do need some cool tones, but I did decide to get rid of the Bezos palette, or the Solo Look palette, I don't know, whatever it's called. And yeah, I have these shades in other mostly Makeup Geek shadows, but I do have things that I can dupe this with, and I just never ever reach for this, so I'm going to pass this one on. And then I'm also passing on the Rimmel Magnifies, the LA Mattes, and then this Makeup Revolution one. So I'm just getting rid of 4, so you know, not the best, but these are the ones I use. I like high-end eyeshadow. I'm not ashamed of that. Shouldn't have to be. So these are just the ones that I just never ever use, so I'm going to get rid of those and keep everything else. So that's it for the eyeshadow. I think I'm just going to go ahead and make this just a separate video, and then we will tackle my beauty box in another video, and then probably my lipsticks in a third video. So these will be my videos for the end of this year. So every video you see from here on until the 1st will most likely be declutters, and then I have a special video coming up for the 1st of the year. And I did manage to get all my palettes fit into my acrylic case except for the Alice in Wonderland palette. I just stuck it over to the side because it was just too bulky. I used to have palettes stacked up here with my brushes, but now I don't. It's just my brushes, and then my little skull, and my beauty sponge, and then that little glass container with perfume samples. So all of this is nice and neat, and nothing has to be moved or stacked on top of each other. So I'm really happy with the way all that turned out. And yeah, I guess that's everything for now. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.